everyone! Thanks for joining me today on this episode of Taking It From the Top, where we'll be exploring how to navigate large intervals across the saxophone. Let's dive right in. When I'm faced with a passage that has a lot of large interval content, I often ask myself, am I allowing my embouchure setting to stay as steady as possible? When I'm conceiving my embouchure, I'm often thinking about ways that I can allow the reed to vibrate freely and effectively. Oftentimes, my fingers are preoccupied with a lot of finger movements, so anything that I can do to reduce the number of variables at the contact point with the reed will allow me to focus on a much cleaner technique through very fast intervallic passages like the ones that we see in the Doll Concerto and in Bolcom's Concert Suite. Furthermore, any excess movement in the embouchure distorts the air pressure system that we're building up on the inside of the oral cavity, which then impedes airflow, which is the name of the game when we want to optimize the performance of these intervals on our instrument. One way that we can improve this awareness of this embouchure to airstream relationship is to play our scales in larger and larger intervals. In a conversation with Andy Hall, he reminded me that we need to be effective at playing intervals both going up and down. So here's an exercise that is a variation on a scale in fifths pattern. As I've said previously, about 95% of the issues that we face on the instrument have air-related solutions, and navigating large intervals is no exception. If we become too preoccupied with micromanaging the embouchure or airstream to navigate through localized intervallic content, the music sort of takes on a feel that's very bumpy, similar to if you were in a car where the driver hasn't figured out the stick-shift transmission. This is especially apparent in slow-moving music, so Cassie Whelan's hands is a great exercise in making sure that you can control a much longer sense of line through this control of the embouchure and steady airstream. Once we figure out how to control the embouchure and the airstream, the final component of navigating large intervals across the saxophone is to optimize the way our hands interface with the instrument. The opening of Kristen Custer's Jellyfish gives us several opportunities to explore ways to optimize our hand position to navigate intervallic content. In the opening octave, I use the concept of posting to be able to navigate this octave freely. One of the technical considerations we have to make on the saxophone is that our pinkies are often responsible for the heaviest mechanisms on the instrument. If we don't take care of this, we end up with these kinds of errors in our playing. However, if I hold down the C and B flat keys before I need them, I can correct this issue. Similar considerations need to be made for the ring finger, which is notorious for moving slowly. Whether the interval goes up or down, being aware of how your ring finger moves in relation to your other fingers will help resolve issues. While the suggestions I've provided in this video are helpful for me, they are not hard and fast rules. In fact, many of my performance decisions from a technical perspective are guided by musical context. What passage am I coming from? What note am I heading to? Does it technically make sense to be doing this fingering at this specific tempo? I implore you to explore the different options that you have available to yourself and consider tonal implications, technical facility, and musical context. Thanks so much for watching today's episode. If you like what you saw, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this content with anybody that you think would find it helpful. Stay tuned. Later this week, I'll be posting a performance video of Cassie Whelan's hands, and tune in next week where I'll be showcasing what's inside my saxophone case.